future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It is IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm Gary Gatto, and welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of our signature presentation of Round 8, Week 8 of Season 3 of the 2025 IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, presented to you by Topia Systems. Coming to you for the second day in a row, LGN, from POCONO Raceway. This is round 2 of the P1 Triple Crown Challenge. Of course, Indy was the first race we had this year at the Triple Crown. And then, of course, well, we did have Daytona out there. Guys, remind me, what is the strength of field that we have again tonight? It's another 5K strength, isn't it?
51.18 is the strength of field.
51.18, very nice. So all three of our, I would say, Triple Crown level races, a quadruple crown actually, because we still have Michigan to go later this year, for the unofficial Grand Slam. All 5Ks so far. Joining me as always in the booth is Justin Petschauer, the ambassador of the IndyCar iRacing series. Also my broadcast partner for just about everything else I do is Luis Gonzalez-Nunez. Good to have you here as well for the second consecutive night. Gentlemen, welcome to Pocono.
Yeah, it kind of sucks we're not still running here in real life, but such is life. But at least we can still run here on iRacing, and I'm looking at these lap times here for qualifying, and wow.
Well, that's a good.
They are really close.
That is a good cue. As soon as I get this squared away over here on my overlay, to maybe transition to you. Segue. As there's the weather on the screen, by the way, 114 degrees on the track temperature. A little bit hotter than we faced yesterday in the ISRA, LGN. 78 degrees on the ambient, but this is a pretty good segue to get in tonight's starting lineup.
Well, on the pole, as is tradition, it is the king of Indianapolis, Robert Malechka, with a lap time of 41.688. Next to him, Hamilton Akabuze. Starting third will be Jacob Oster. Fourth, can we call him the heel of the series? Or
King of the Hills. King of the Hills, yeah. I've already talked to him about it. He seemed to be okay with it. He says heels occasionally win, though.
Okay. But yeah, Brandon Trost will be starting fourth. Rounding out the top 5, it'll be Lucas Lodato. Next at him in 6th, it'll be Adriano Pinero. Next to him, it'll be Matt Hollabaugh. 8th, it'll be
Edson Santos. Edson Santos, yes.
Edson, okay. Then it'll be Mason Mitchum. And rounding out the top 10, it'll be Seb Alexander. 11th, it'll be Ty Quilla. 12th, it'll be Quindy, Kyle Glenworth. 13th, it'll be Dave Mitchell. 14th, Trey Shadid. And 15th, not a good qualifying effort from Nick Sudik, but we know he knows how to work his way up towards the field. Towards the front, correction. Then it'll be Adriano Forporti in 16th. 17th, it'll be Frank Guillen. 18th, Stephen Lee. Richard Vasquez, 19th. 20th, it'll be Matthew Ponto. 21st, it'll be Art Reimer, who went out first, but did not put in a very good qualifying time in. And rounding out the 22-car field, it'll be Beto Souza with no qualifying time, a.k.a. a provisional on the field. That is the 22-car starting field for this 50-lap showdown here at Pocono.
As we are through turn 2, tonight's rule set, fixed setup race, of course, 2.5-mile triangle-shaped oval, 50 laps, 125 race miles, no fast repairs, 3 sets of tires, 1 in the car, 2 in the pits. We expect 1 pit stop no earlier, about lap 20 or so, 55-mile-per-hour pit road speed limits. Last time we were here, February 11, 2025, week 9 of season 1. Strength of field of 52, 58, 21 cars, 9 laps of caution. Robert Malechka won the race over Pinero and Clindy.
What do you say, boys? Pace cars off. Let's go racing here at Pocono. Green flag is out, and already Robert Malechka with us. Jump on the start there, but no harm, no foul, because that's really how quick it is when the green flag comes out here. And a good run towards turn number 1. We already see guys that are trying to get into the single file formation, but a number of other guys are already too wide as they go through turn number 1.
They are really going to jockey for this P2 position because we saw last night, Lewis, we're going to talk about last night race a lot. The top 2 kind of pulled away, and if you were in 3rd spot as Oster goes to the bottom and the Indianapolis turn in turn 2 gets the lead. But if you were 1st and 2nd, you kind of pulled away. If you were 3rd, the aero wash kind of killed you.
Yeah, yesterday with oh my God, I forgot the names. Anyways, yeah, it was like you said, the guys went a spirited away together.
Rick Ravon and we got
yes.
Forsyth and Sofer up there as well. Yeah, they just pulled away and put a big gap on the field. Ooh, look at him get out to that wall.
Yeah,
I know,
I'm
right there with you. Yeah, my memory's getting just as bad. I need to start taking those memory supplements, I think.
Yeah, I know. Just to interrupt there, Seb Alexander barely touched the apron going into turn 1, lost a little bit of momentum, but he caught it back up, and he is still sitting in 8th place. No harm, no foul, as he runs that high line as they come through Milwaukee, turn 3.
And we saw him
about yesterday.
Yeah, go ahead. You're getting ready to say the same thing I was. Yeah. They loved the high side last night.
Yeah, talking about yesterday was a really dramatic definition with Wagner and Mac Wagner and Clendy today here in the grid 11. Won the championship for 1 point and become 2-time champion of the ISRA Open Wheel Series yesterday. It was really dramatic, but the temperature yesterday was in 100 something. No, even
not as hot as it is today. No, not as hot.
It's gonna be a couple the same for today, but here's different teams, different setup, and different field, different people, and let's see what's happened with Santos make the pass on Tross.
Riding from the Robbie Gordon position on Hamilton Akabaweezy's car. The Elite Racing League's Indy 500 winner, currently 4th on the racetrack right now. Down the Long Pond straight into turn 2. This is a 2.5-mile oval, as I mentioned, along the same size as Indianapolis and Daytona, but 3 turns. Triangle, yes, and if you see it from the air, it is unmistakably a triangle in the middle of the wilderness.
We'll call it the tricky triangle for nothing because you have to get the setup correct here.
What turn 4? But turn 1, as they're getting ready to barrel into it right now, based upon the long-destroyed Trenton Speedway in New Jersey at the fairgrounds there. as they go through turn 2 down the long pond straightaway. Clendy goes purple on that lap with a 2:16. Now they're heading into turn 2, modeled after Indianapolis. Although if you talk to me and Lewis about that, it's not exactly, it doesn't feel like an Indianapolis turn, but it's supposedly modeled after Indianapolis. And now coming into the turn based upon turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 at Milwaukee.
You have, like I said, you have to basically get the setup correct, even in a stock car here, because of how tricky this place is. If you get the setup right, you can basically make a charge towards the front and maybe even get the win.
And you mentioned go ahead. Yeah. If you mentioned stock cars, by the way, a lot of people do think there's a pass for Tues on the outside. The high line off of 1, is the fastest line. As he starts to pull away a little bit, he really wants to catch that top 3. But if you think of this track, most people think of this track as a stock car track, but this was purpose-built for Indy cars when it opened in 1970.
Back when USAC was basically running the IndyCar Series, as it was known as the USAC Championship Car Trail.
That's where they get the Champ Car from. Yep, the firm term Champ Car. Not Champ Car World Series. It came from the USAC days. In fact, I remember when I was younger, my dad used to call these Champ Car races for the longest time. And I'm like, Dad, it's IndyCar. Oh, as Hamilton had the lift there, as he was getting a big arrow wash out to the wall in turn 2.
Yeah, big time arrow wash there. A ton of understeer on him, and he almost had it again right there coming off of turn 3. That's going to open the door right there for Edson Santos to get the run on him going into turn 1. Will Edson be able to complete the run? Still side by side. As they go into 1 here, he will be able to get the run, but Hamilton Akabuze is going to try and get the momentum. Not going to be enough, though, but now he gets it off of turn 1 here. Here he goes underneath Edson Santos down the long pond straightaway.
Contact on the backstretch, and that is Vasquez going to the inside wall. And we are under caution. You just saw it on the top part of your screen as everybody was coming out of the turn. And we are under caution. Let's check out what happened here with Vasquez, as I think he got clipped by another car. And it was Mason Mitchum just goes up the racetrack a little bit, clips him, and sends the Glidden Dallara into the inside wall. And that is a pretty terminal hit right there. And the day is done for Vasquez. And it looks like Mason Mitchum got away unscathed there, as he is in 18th position.
Yeah, just a little bit too much of a run coming off of turn number 1 there, right behind Mason Mitchum. He tried to get the run coming off of turn 1 there. That hole closed up quick, courtesy of Mason Mitchum, and basically decided to pull a wheel hop. And it was a little too much of a bunny hop. I'll just call it that. Tire contact between the two, and around Richard Vasquez went. And as you said, it was a terminal hit to the, I believe it was the right rear corner, right rear tire of the car. Yeah. And when you get that, when you damage that right rear tire there, you're pretty much done for the day. Doesn't matter if it's on a road, street circuit, or even a high-speed oval like here.
Well, Lewis, do we see people come to pit road? It's a little early to be coming to pit road. I think maybe those leaders will stay out. Maybe some people further on back will take a gamble.
It's not like yesterday. You can come into the pit, and then what happened yesterday with Rick Raven, he out of the fuel with 10 to go or 5 to go. So no, I think I stay out. That's the key. Maybe the guy on the back, like a Porti, Chadid, or Sadiq, could be coming. Nothing to lose over there.
Yep, and we're going to see Trost take the dive down the pit road.
Oh, and look at that. The back people, like I said, Chadid could be nothing to lose coming to the pit too.
Stephen Lee coming to pit road. Chadid, Nick Sudik, Dave Mitchell. Fast Frankie, Mason Mitchum probably get some damage looked at just in case. Reimer coming to pit road. Sousa, Ponto, all coming to pit road. Ponto and the Allenser Senior throwback, the Cummins Diesel livery from Penske Racing.
That was 1987, if I believe.
87 Indy 500 winner, indeed. So you mentioned that. It's a good segue because I want to talk about this here. Between USAC, Kart, and IndyCar, the series has raced at Pocono 27 times. Remember that number, 27. From 71 to 89, they raced every year, and again from 2013 to 2019. Every single race here at Pocono, if it was an IndyCar race or an IndyCar style race, unless it was rain shortened, was a 500-mile race, making Pocono the track with the second most 500-mile races in IndyCar history, only behind the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You may have thought it was Michigan. However, Michigan has more overall races, but Michigan has only 22 500-mile races. Pocono is the only track in IndyCar history other than Indianapolis to have every single race here that was taking place here also as a 500-mile race. Never a 400-mile race, never a 300-mile race, unless it was rain shortened. So this is one of those rare tracks that all races, every single race was a 500-mile race when IndyCar raced here. On a side note, though, somebody might say, well, in Champ Car, all races at Auto Club were 500 miles. Yes, that was in Champ Car. However, all that history, as much as people don't like to talk about it, has been absorbed as IndyCar. Your career wins leaders here as Oster decides to take a pump fake down the front stretch to come to pit road. As AJ Foyt has 4 wins here, to nobody's surprise, with his last win being in the early 80s. That was his 67th and final IndyCar victory, was right here at the Tricky Triangle. Rick Mears and Will Power are tied for second all-time. And I said that. Will Power, second all-time in wins here at Pocono with 3. He has 3 500-mile race wins here in the time that IndyCar ran here from 2013 to 2019. A lot of people forget about that. Danny Sullivan, Al Unser Sr., Bobby Unser each have 2, with Uncle Bobby's wins coming when he raced in USAC and 1 when he raced in Kart. The furthest back ever to win a race here, to nobody's surprise when I say this, is Scott Dixon. He started 17th in 2013 and won the race in the return year of IndyCar here. And in case you're wondering, there's been 109 Indy 500s, 27 Pocono 500s, 22 Michigan 500s, 11 Ontario 500s, and 10 Auto Club 500s. And that is your 500 race history as it relates to IndyCar. And I could only do that here at Pocono with the caution laps last how long, Lewis?
Oh, 2 minutes, man. 5 minutes pace for 3 laps. Oof.
Give me the stats to read for the big races where we have a lot of caution laps, or at least long caution laps. We're getting ready to go green. It's going to be Oster, Malechka, Pinero, Santos. Watch Santos. He does not do a lot of official races. We see him in a lot of league races. And Akabo Weezy in 5th. If you enjoy P1's coverage at IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split presented by Topia Systems, and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. We're back underway at the Tricky Triangle, lap 12 of 50. IndyCar Oval Series.
Already a number of guys still running up on that high line there. Single file. There was at least one guy that I thought he was going to get himself a black flag for passing on the inside on the restart there. You cannot do that here because of the single file restart. But he thought better of it, and he backed off just a little bit. No harm, no foul. And he slots back in, but he will be able... He's going to try and get another shot at probably making a pass, but he's going to have to wait until at least he gets into clean air, and he can definitely try that here in turn 3 because you can spread out all the way from the high line down to the low line.
We saw last night, and we're seeing it again tonight, 3 different lines through turn 3 here. High, ripping the top, right in the middle, and down on the bottom, with some drivers even clipping the rumble strips to help the car rotate. Now, your information on how this field is settled after the pit stops is the top 11 all stayed out. Actually, now that's with Trost getting a position there, he moved around one of the cars that stayed out. For Porty stayed out. But Trost is one of the first cars to come to pit road. So basically, from 11th and then 13th on down, all of those drivers came to pit road. They might be able to do this in one more stop. Certainly, if there's another caution, it becomes a little bit more of a real scenario. But if we go green the entire way, they're going to have to do quite a bit of fuel save, aren't they, Lewis? That's exactly what we saw last night.
Yeah, so they need to come into the pit. But it's gonna be interesting. I see people with just one stop in the started, and then they finish the race like that, saving fuel long time ago. So who knows? What could happen? Could be the magic number over there and finish the race with couple, maybe with 2 or 3 more cautions. But like I said yesterday, the cautions maybe gonna come in between 10 to go, 15 or 10 to go. Always happen. Always.
And we got a side-by-side battle here for 6th place. It's between Hamilton Akabuze and Kyle Clenworth. Hamilton Akabuze had a run going into turn 3. He was running that bottom line as Clenworth was still running the high side.
Big run on the bottom.
Yeah, but Clenworth had the momentum as he got off the high side of turn 3 there. He's still out in front of Hamilton Akabuze. He's trying to figure out whether he wants to save fuel.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody backed up big time.
Yeah, that was I believe that was right around Matt Hollenball. He is 3rd place at our IndyCar Oval Series points.
Oh, that's close. My God.
He got caught up in a ton of dirty air. He had to back out of it with all that understeer that he had on the front, and he gave a little bit of a love tap to Brandon Trost going into 1.
That I don't know if that bothers Brandon much at all to get a bit of a bump draft down the straightaway if he gets hit squarely.
I think that was also a warning shot for probably taking the air off of the front wing of Matt Hollenbach a lap ago as they were coming up to turn 2 and right in front of him again.
Oh, he just slides. He gives himself a self-Brazilian clear, and there's the return shot to the inside wall. And that's not going to bring out a caution, but that is game over for Trost.
He says there was no contact. He didn't get a contact mention at all or nothing. He said sorry over the radio, and Trost is going AWOL in the text chat. Oh my God!
And we're cautioned. We're under caution. But there you see the incident right there.
Seb Alexander. Oh, this happened in front of him.
It's Glendy. Contact with Santos.
Oh.
About net. Well, I'm gonna say it's net code. I'm not sure. And also Mike Wheeler, same too.
That is. That incident with Clendy took out 2 of his teammates. Watch this. Clendy gets a big run. We're coming down the Long Pond Straight here. This Long Pond Straight connects turns 1 and 2. Clendy going to take a pop out here. Look at him right at the last second, right before they're getting into the cone zone for turn 2. He goes to the bottom. Arrow wash, and then there's netcode. They were going to touch anyways, but the code finished them off, and unfortunately, Clendy has associated teammates back there that got involved as well. Seb Alexander is associated teammate, and Ty Quilla is a direct teammate, and they both got collected and gobbled up as innocent victims, and we're back under caution.
I have to say this. You remember we talked about yesterday? Oh, you can do the side by side in turn 2, but
no.
If it's but wait, if you have a lot to do in this race, you can lift in a little bit, so you don't have nothing to lose. And I think Santos, he did something. Maybe you can do a 5 to go or maybe 4 to go to defend something, but 33 to go is like just lift in, just leave the car and just stay back, come back again.
Now everybody comes to pit road. Anna Klimek in chat. Thank you for the history lesson, Gary. Honestly, I don't know how I retain some of this information or find this information or why I even look some of this information up. Some people are like, hey, you're like Donald Davidson of the Speedway. No, that dude remembers way more than I forget, you know? He knows a lot more as watching Oster down and away. And some cars decide to come to pit road that stopped before in the case of Stephen Lee. And Stephen Lee's going to pop out as our new leader. Shortstop.
just only fuel for him. Smart.
Yeah,
You know
he
what?
only went. They only went 9 laps on that. With all those that came in and got new tires and fuel, that's going to get him home. But he's going to have a little bit older tires because he just went fuel only. You're right.
So you retain different thing. You retain a lot of information, but about yesterday, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, don't ask me. I totally don't even remember what I ate yesterday. Now, Stephen Lee loves these big ovals, and he's in a position where he decided to go for track position and gamble. Goes for fuel only on pit road for 4.2 seconds. He should be fueled and ready to go to the end. Right behind him is Jacob Oster, who's been the leader for a good portion of this race. Malechka in third, Nick Sudik in fourth. Nick Sudik gambled. He was only on pit road for 4.5 seconds. Remember, he came to pit road on that earlier caution and only did the 9 laps, came back in, topped off. He got some track position. He's now fourth. Pinero's fifth. Hamilton is in sixth. Clindy's in seventh. Lucas Ladata. We have not seen Lucas much this season. Good to have him back on the Top Split broadcast. Lucas is in eighth. Trey Shadid in ninth. And for Porty, the mailman is in 10th. This is a good opportunity. I got to get the weather off there. I'm very sorry that I kept on there so long. I should not have done that. But I do want to bring up the point situation here. And there is the point situation. That is points going in the Pocono. Clindy is now your leader, and he's putting himself in a position where he can repeat and defend his title here in the Oval Series, just like he did in the ISRA. Currently has himself a 200-ish point lead over Brandon Trost, who is now in second spot. Nick Sudik was in the third spot for a while, or second spot for a while. He is now down the third. Hollenball was in the third spot for a while. He is now down the fourth. Tanner Richards, we have not seen in a couple of weeks. We're not sure if he's returning or not, but he's currently in fifth. Then we got Tiago. Then Seb Alexander, who's going to hurt from this a little bit with the early out. Moskowitz, Pinero, and Ty Aquila is your top 10. Getting ready to go green this time by.
And a quick note of the contact between Matt Hollenbaugh and Brandon Trost. It was literally the slightest bit of net code contact to where it didn't even register an incident notification for Matt Hollenbaugh.
Oh, gosh. If you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split presented to you by Topia System. Coming from Pocono, we've completed now 20 of 50 laps, getting ready to go green. If you're enjoying our coverage tonight, would like to monetarily support us, please find the link to our GoFundMe campaign in the link description, or send us super chats. You can do that in chat right here on YouTube. Realize times are tough, so any donation, no matter the amount, is greatly appreciated. Green flag is out for the entire field, and we're going to go into turn one, and Jacob Oster's like, nah, I'm going to go get this lead back. I'm going to bring my team, well, not my teammate, but a guy I work with an awful lot, Malechka, right with me, and Nick Sadiq. He is looking at the same, but Stephen Lee still hanging on to third. Here comes Pinero, takes a dive to the inside. Whoa, it got a little close there.
So much dirty air, a ton of understeer. He had to back out of it, and he's going to slot in front of Kyle Clenworth there, and it's side by side between Stephen Lee, and I believe that is
Nick Sadiq.
Yeah, they were going side by side initially. Nick Sadiq will back out of it and slot back in. Already you see guys taking different lines here in turn one. Pinero was almost getting passed by Hamilton Nakabuze there as they go down the long pond straightaway. Still no challenge there, but here comes Adriano Pinero. He's going to try underneath Nick Sadiq. Not going to be able to get it this time. He's going to use a little bit of the draft there as they go down towards turn number 3. Backs out of it, thinks better of it. He's going to try and maybe go to the low light. Nope, Nick Sadiq will follow him down there.
Oh, look at him use those rumble strips.
Oh! But that's not going to be enough here. And look at this. Already 3 cars here under a blanket. You got Nick Sadiq, Hamilton Nakabuze, and Adriano Pinero.
Hamilton
Nakabuze will, Hamilton Alcabuzzi will go to the high side. Adriano Pinero down to the low side, still side by side as they come off turn number 1 down the long pond straightaway.
The fiercely forward teammates stay with one another as the drivers from the I-5G and Power Slide private label Team Hype Empire are your leaders. Stephen Lee kind of saw what Pinero was doing early in the race. Oh, look at Akaweezy just slide on by and cruise on by on the high side. And he gets a big run on Lee. Lee was trying to hang tough in that 3rd spot, and now he's back to 4th now.
Side by side, 2 rows deep here. You got Hamilton Alcabuzzi, Stephen Lee there, up in front of Adriano Pinero and Nicholas Sadiq. Still side by side, 2 rows deep as they go down towards the tunnel turn, turn 2. Make that 3 rows too wide as they go through the tunnel turn here. Who's going to be the one to come out? It's still side by side as they go towards turn number 3. Nick Sadiq has the run, and he's going to probably, no, still side by side with Adriano Pinero. And Kyle Clunworth is tossing his hat into the middle of this battle here. Here it comes Kyle Clunworth, 3 wide down the front straightaway here. One of the longest in IndyCar, at least 2,700 feet as they go down towards turn number 1.
Yeah, it is on the, as in terms of oval straights, yes, it is the longest straight on an oval. IndyCar has raced at a track that's had a longer straight before, I believe. Oh, Pinero had to lift big. Fuji has a longer straight. And IndyCar has raced there as an exhibition race one time.
That was when they were still trying the oval concept, but it didn't work out. With that huge turn going down the front straightaway.
Yep, it was still a road course. I mean, but it was an exhibition race, and Sir Jackie Stewart won that one actually.
The funny thing is that turn is technically still there, but it is so overgrown. It's more overgrown than the oval at Monza. Nick Sadiq has fallen back. I think he got as Stephen Lee and Adriano Pinero almost came together as they came off of turn number 3 there. As I was saying before, that little schmozzle happened. Nick Sadiq, he got caught up in a ton of dirty air there. He's fallen back a pretty good amount. He's lost at least maybe 3-4 spots, but he will be able to get back up towards the front. So we've seen him make a charge back after getting essentially kicked out of line.
He almost won 2 seasons ago the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series race here at Pocono. So he's pretty good here at Pocono. So let Nick recover. He'll be all right. He's currently in 8th spot, still in the draft. That top 8 kind of all together. And then there's a little bit of separation back to Trace in 9th. And then right behind him is Matt fighting for a podium spot in the points right now. He's a former Elite Racing League Series champion.
And I think Adriano Pinero got a little bit of the wall up on the high side going through turn 1 there because he lost a good amount of momentum. Not a lot, but a good amount. But he's now making that charge down towards turn number 3 against Lucas Lodato, but not going to be enough because Stephen Lee tosses a ton of dirty air against Adriano Pinero.
Nick
Pinero
almost in the wall. Oh, Freaky Frankie. Fast Frankie. Fast Frankie. He is back there, and he about kissed the wall. There is Fast Frankie right there. Frankie Gwynn in 14th. The Freaky Fast, Frankie Gwynn.
So far, I'm just seeing a few battles that are going side by side, but everybody else, they're almost in what you would call. I think they're going into fuel saving strategy when they go down the straightaways because they're getting single file, but when they go into the corners, especially turn 3,
Stephen Lee!
Oh no!
And that is day done for the Pocono Gambler. As he goes to the inside wall on pit road, and he actually doesn't have a black flag for that, amazingly enough. but it's just as bad for a black flag. No fast repairs here in the Oval Series, and that is a wobbly left front, and that is terminal damage for one of our leaders. And Stephen Lee will retire soon as he gets his car to his spot. Meanwhile, back up front, though, we have a bit of a breakaway for the top 5. Now, I also want to throw in there that probably it's a good bet that Akabu Easy and Nick Sadiq are also working with Oster and Malechka. So right now, Clindy might be a bit of a handicap match at the front, Lewis, just like we saw during SummerSlam. There might be a bit of a 5-on-1 or a 5-on-2 now. If Nick gets up there, it might be those 5 against the 2 of those 4, against the 2 of Clindy and Pinero.
Yeah, talking about Pinero, like you said, it is hard when you have all of this teammates on front. What to do? But what kind of thing you can do over there? Well, the championship on the fixed series is counted for one person, not for the team. So, but let's see. We still have a time. You know, Pinero maybe gonna find the way. Maybe also to Clendy is there, getting close to the leaders, and also Sadiq is getting close, very close on that.
Yeah, he's gained another position since we kind of talked about him. He's now up to 7th, and he is in the draft of Lodato right in front of him. There he is, and he sees, look at all those different lines of the cars in front of him. 3 different lines going through turn 3, just one turn. He is 0.3 of a second, well within the draft envelope. It looks like a long distance, but that's 0.3 of a second right there. It's a blink of an eye in human terms. 222, 223, 224, 225, 226 into the trap going into turn 2. Car gets very light when it goes through turn 2. Now through turn 3, this is the slowest corner on the racetrack, down to 196 miles an hour. And then accelerating off turn 3, down the main straightaway, 218, 219, up to 222, 223, 224, 226, 227, going into the trap, going into 1. 3 different lines through turn 1.
Doc Clenworth here hit 228 going into turn 1 behind Hamilton Nakabuzi.
The car got light there. Told you, Nick almost up into the wall coming off the exit.
Ooh, I thought Adriano Pinero was gonna run into the back of Kyle Clenworth there coming off of turn 3. Got the run now. He's gonna let him know that he's underneath there, and he goes down to the bottom of the speedway, going into turn 1, side by side with Kyle Clenworth there. He's gonna slide up in front of him, take the air off of the nose, and he will slot up into 4th. In front of Kyle Clenworth here. Now he's gonna try and make a charge up towards the front to battle with the top 3 there, and there he goes. He's got the run, huge run underneath Hamilton Nakabuezi as they go into turn number 3 here, side by side. Not going to be enough, as Hamilton Nakabuezi will have that momentum coming off of turn 3.
He wanted every bit of that momentum to transfer to that move, and I think he was just too close, and you saw Pinero cranking the wheel there at the last second. That might have actually messed up his attempt at the pass that time. This time he's underneath Hamilton again. Oof.
He clipped the apron. Oh! Jacob Oster touched the wall coming off of turn 1 there.
Yeah, he did.
I think he's got a little bit of damage.
Well, we've seen him do that before and become faster.
Oh.
Clenworth had the run there underneath Adriano Pinero, and he lost all the momentum, and he almost went up into him through turn 2, but now he's going to have to remount that charge coming off of turn 3 and down the front straightaway here.
Three different lines for the top 3 through turn 1, down to the bottom, in the middle, up high. Single file now down the long pond straight. Hollenbaugh starting to recover a little bit. He is now in 8th, and he is trying to claw back in the draft from Nick Sudik. We'll give him a couple laps, see if he can catch up. Look at all these different lines. Each one of these drivers taking through 3 to keep the momentum and to get that car to rotate.
Oster saw what Pinero was doing, and he maintained that high line going through turn 3. Now let's see if he's going to maintain it going through turn 1 here. He's going to drag Adriano Pinero with him, but Pinero has to back out of it, and here comes Clenworth sliding up in front of Pinero, and he loses that position, though.
Now we watch this battle for the lead. Want to remind everyone, in December, P1 Broadcasting becomes the primetime home for Today at the 500. Sponsored by Oil and Gas Safety Supply, your nightly destination for early action leading up to the prestigious PRI Hoosier 500. The last kiss of the bricks. That's going to be right here on P1 as we cover the practice and qualifications for, here we go, 3 wide in the 1, and we see Oster going to the bottom, and whatever damage he might have had seems kind of phantom right now as he goes into the corner going 3 wide, comes out of the corner as your leader. So the countdown is on. Pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe. We're going to get really tight going into turn 3, and I think Jacob made the right decision there, but stay locked in. We're going to see you in December for the PRI Hoosier 500 right here. The practice leading up to the PRI Hoosier 500 right here on P1. Here we come off the corner. We're going to go side by side again between Oster and Malechka. Gabowizi right there. And here comes Pinero with a big head of steam as he's going to go to the bottom. He's going to take it 3 wide. No fear for the Brazilian as he goes to the bottom. He's going to slide up. Yes, he is. But Oster's going to have a lot of momentum. And we're going to go 3 wide again.
Not just Oster, but here comes Robert Malechka and Hamilton Akaboise underneath Adriano Pinero as they go through the tunnel turn here. Robert Malechka goes back to the lead, followed by Jacob Oster and Adriano Pinero. But here comes Jacob Oster going to the low side here in turn 3. He will shoot back out in front of Robert Malechka as they come off a turn number 3.
Oh!
Man, Pinheiro, wow. I thought he went to the wall, but nice catch on there.
10 laps to go this time by, and it's game on now. With 10 laps to go, I don't think anybody's saving right now.
But what about the field for 10 to go? It's gonna be okay, or maybe tight. Doesn't look like they don't care about that.
I think they can make it.
They're probably also banking on another caution, but look at this. Adriano Pinero
this might be your caution right here.
Pinero clipped that apron, and it that time it didn't help him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the question why I asking that, because I have a connection internet failure. I came back. I don't know what's. I don't know. My time screen is 42 laps. So I really. Oh my God, Pinheiro. Yeah. Anyways, they good to go for sure. They are 20 something laps for fuel. So
yeah, we are. Here are the stints. We have the stint lengths right here. There's everybody. 23 laps with 9 to go, and that puts them right at the window. Right at the. Maybe they have to save a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit.
And I told you, Hollenbaugh has now caught Sudik. And while that top 5 is all jockeying for position, I think Lodato is going to eventually catch him and join him. And I think if they start all jockeying still even more, that will open the door for Sudik and Matt to get up there. And we're going to have a heck of a finish here with 8 laps to go. And the top 8 put them under a blanket if they catch the lead group. Lead group still jockeying it out right now. Battle engaged up in the front. Malechka, Oster, Hamilton, Pinero, Clindy. Whoa. Just you get underneath one of those cars in turn 2 on the high side, the high side car, you could slide up into him. And here's Lodato. He's taking a peek underneath Clindy, and he's there. Riding on the cowling of Lodato. Also another cam that Robbie Gordon made famous in the turn 2. Car gets very light here. And the thing is, it gets light, and then you get the aero wash, and then the thing just doesn't want to turn. But it feels like if you turn it too much, it's just you're gonna swap ends. It's just really a freaky turn. Has a weird feeling to it. Clindy got down on the bottom. Got a lot of aero wash, had the lift, and here comes Lodato to the inside with the run and the 1. That high line, if you stay on the high line, especially with worn tires around here, Lewis, we talked about this as well yesterday. The high line becomes the OP line with worn tires. All you have to do is keep that high line momentum, and a bottom side pass becomes very challenging here late in a run.
Yeah, also you can little bit help you with the apron like a Pinheiro did, but this kind of OP, like I just said, it's really OP, the high line. The only problem is if you're overdriving, you can hit the wall, and the wall is making like a put over there. You cannot release the car over there. You have to lift in and try to move the car to the left, and that's the handicap to getting close. But this guy, oh my. Oof. That's close. That was close on Pinheiro and Clendy. It's just that's a big problem of that. But these guys have a ton of experience. They don't have any problem for do that.
But Clendy, I mean, even where he finishes right here, this is still a pretty good race for him because Jacob and Robert are not, and Hamilton are not series regulars for the championship. Pinheiro is, but he's buried in the standings right now, a little bit further in the top 10. So he'll marginally actually gain on Clendy a little bit. But Clendy's nearest competitor is sitting on pit road right now. So this is going to work out well for him. He just really needs to bring the car home. He's wanting more out of it, but he might have used up the tires.
Yeah, the points he can make it today could be maybe 300 points today. He won. Actually, Clendy won something. I don't know if he won, but he competed yesterday. But today actually. So maybe he can add it a little more because it's 200 points over Trost. So it's pretty good. So, but don't put down. Even we have we are week 8. We are 6 to go, maybe.
Coming to 2 to go. Coming to 1 to go this time. We're at 2 to go right now.
I say the week of the season. Sorry.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody and make sure before we haven't got a chance to pay the bills yet, but here's a white flag in the air. Make sure to check out our good friends at Topia Systems, proud sponsor of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split here on P1. White flag in the air. It's going to be a deciding race here now between these top 4. It is Malechka, Oster, Kabawizi, and Pinheiro going down the Long Pond Straight, and the snake is in session down the Long Pond Straight as they are weaving for all it's worth down to the bottom. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 2. Oh! And now we're going to go 3 wide down the short chute into turn 3, and Pinheiro's desperately trying to find a hole to go through. He can't find it, and there goes Kabawizi down to the bottom. Here we come to the finish line and the finish of this race, and it's a dead heat, but it's going to be Malechka. It's going to be a Kabawizi edging out Oster, and that is your top 3.
Wow.
Woo, man.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Oster's still in disbelief.
That's close.
Yeah, you said it. You said it.
You know what? Little more far the finish line, Hamilton could be win the race.
Yeah, you're right.
If it's Taladera, it could be win the race because the finish line is kind of far away on the finish on there.
And there you see it. The king shows everyone why he's the king and gets the win by 8 thousandths of a second. Hundreds, thousandths, tenths, 100, yeah, 0.008. That's your margin of victory right there. Jacob Oster comes home in third. Less than a tenth of a second for everybody for the top three. Then seemingly like 3 miles back, but it's only 0.3 of a second back. It's Pinero comes home fourth. Clindy in fifth. Lodato in sixth. This is going to be a good one for Clindy. I saw Lodato kind of side check him there. I don't know if something happened there at the end that they didn't like each other or like what happened, but Clindy comes home fifth, and that's a good points day for him. Really, the only person gaining on him here is Pinero. Lodato sixth. Hollenbaugh recovers to seventh. Sadiq goes to eighth. Dave Mitchell, we didn't talk about Mitch at all in this race, and he comes home ninth. Fast Frankie. And the Freaky Fast, number 14. Here with 4 wins in IndyCar history here at this racetrack, comes home in 10th. And he might be, yes, he is going to be your biggest gainer in the top 10, but not your biggest gainer in the race. We'll let LGN decide who's going to be the LGN racer of the day or driver of the day. Moving on. And there is Beta Sousa. He got 22 positions. Matthew Ponto, 20 positions. He finishes 12th. Purporty, the mailman, comes home in 13th. Trace Shadid, 14th. Mason Mitchum, Eminem, in 15th spot. Reimer smokes his way up to 16th. Stephen Lee, not the finish he was looking for. Was our leader at one point. Finishes 17th. That's Santos battling in the top 5 and gets in an incident. He is 18th. Seb Alexander and Ty Quilla, innocent victims of a turn 2 incident. They come home 19th and 20th. And then Trost, a victim coming off of turn 3 and finishes in 21st. And Richard Vasquez in an incident coming off turn 1. Goes to the inside wall, comes home in 22nd. All right, let's get some replays queued up, get into the interview room, talk to these fine folks, and get their impressions of this race. And we're going to be talking with Jacob here first, but we will queue up his car. All right. And let's get into the interview room and talk with Jacob first. Good to have him back here in the series with us tonight. And here he is, Jacob Oster, the warm man, coming home in third. It might feel like 100 miles, but it was just a blink of an eye. Coming home third, taking the white flag at that lap. It could have been anybody's, but talk about that last lap. How do you think your chances were taking the great white flag, and what do you think of that finish?
Well, you know, Pocono is always, it's actually probably the best track for stuff like this, but I just got a little bit tight in turn 1 and scrubbed more than I wanted to, even though I never lifted in the entire last lap. I just scrubbed more than I wanted to, and that was kind of it. Just had to get alongside Rob and hope that he had to scrub more than me, and for some reason, Hamilton got me, but we were cutting it real close at fuel there at the end, but good fun.
Yeah, how close was it there at the end on fuel? We show your lap.
I had 0.17 liters when I crossed the line.
Wow, yeah, 31 laps on that stint, and we were telling everybody. I said, I think some people were like, "Well, we're not sure," and I'm like, I think they can make it the way that they were racing up front. I mean, was there a point during that last stint where you had to save a little bit at all, or was it full push that entire last stint?
No, I mean, that last stint was like just run conservative, run your maps. The car can save the fuel and you never have to lift. And we did that. I did get caught back up once, but that was my own fault.
Well, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who want to say hi to. Of course, you got the Sim Gaming Expo on the side of your car. They're coming up here soon. I want to encourage everyone to go to Sim Gaming Expo and get their tickets for September 5th through 7th in Schaumburg, Illinois at the convention center there and be a part of the show. Go ahead with your shout out, sir.
Yeah, shout out to George Anzaldo for putting that event on. I unfortunately will not be able to go this year, maybe next year if it comes up again, but I look forward to seeing the community races ran. But yeah, thanks to Rob for working with me all day. He's very, very good at this, and I feel like we're a pretty good combo here, so it's always a fun time at Pocono and the Fixed World.
Well, it's good to have you in the lineup. I know we don't see you every week. I imagine we will see you later this season, maybe when we get to Michigan at the very least. So thanks for being here. Good to have you in the lineup. Good to have you on the podium, and congratulations. We'll catch you at the next one.
All right, thank you guys. I'll be around some.
Good. Good to have Oster in the lineup. As always, you know you got some of the best when Jacob is in the lineup. And then, of course, also one of the best. Finished second, and this is Hamilton Akabuizi. Here is Hamilton with us here in the booth. Hamilton just edged there out at the end. Heck of a last lap. Talk about it from your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Early on, I was like map 4, map 5, saving, dropped back a few spots. I mean, wasn't really sure what to expect, like how hard passing would be. But once we got the caution and then kind of made a few moves there that were good to get up to third, and then it's really just kind of sitting there letting them swap, just so that things, like if I don't let them swap, then things just get super chaotic, get everyone involved. Helps keep things a little more calm. And then I mean, yeah, kind of just was that way for a good while. I mean, kind of just chilling. And then last lap, I don't know. I mean, if I don't run up high and get Rob's dirty air like the lap before coming to the last lap, then maybe I could like do some a bit earlier. But I don't know. I'm happy with that. I mean, Pocono isn't my best track, but I mean, I'll take it. I wasn't really sure what moves to make there, so yeah.
Well, it sounds like you got something learned for next time when we come back. Pocono's always a sure bet on the calendar, at least a couple times a year. Congratulations on the win. Any shout, or excuse me, on P2. You wish you got the win. I'm sorry, but congratulations on the P2 in the P1 car. Any shout outs or friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to? I know you do. You got the team, of course, that did pretty well today.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick for running. He's always around. Yeah. Well, I mean, not a great finish for him, but I mean, it's hard to make a lot of moves here at Pocono. So, yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to P1. Drove through the open stuff, and then shout out to Lucas. I was hanging out with him during the race. So, yeah.
Give you a chance here to promote P1 a little bit. We still got a little time before we have Pocono this weekend. How is the Pocono setup? Portland setup for the IIS this weekend. Do you have it dialed in for some possible rain, maybe?
I mean, got a 1-2 and open. I mean, we're everyone's kind of scattered right now. We didn't touch the P1 dock set. Like everyone's pretty scattered. So, I mean, did well in there. I'm sure he'll do well in IIS. If it gets rain, that'd be fun. I might try and run that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll check you out on Saturday. If you should be in the top split, but we'll see you on Saturday at 2 p.m. if that's the case. And everyone, if you're looking for a setup, go to p1docs.com and they will hook you up with something that will get you competitive at Portland. Congratulations, Hamilton, on the P2, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Thank you.
And we'll bring up King Robert. Here he is. Just another 2.5 mile track win for Robert Malechka, edging out the group of guys that he was working with at the end there. Congratulations on the win. Like I said, another Triple Crown race, another 2.5 mile oval, another Robert Malechka win.
Yeah, thanks. It was an interesting race. That caution with 33 to go made it pretty tricky for
Yeah.
myself and Jacob.
Yep.
Because if you fell P4, P5 in line, it seems like it was pretty difficult to get back up. So we were working really closely there and managing our fuel as best as we could to save as much as we could, but also keep P1 and 2. And yeah, while we were trying to save fuel, just trying to manage the gaps behind us, knowing when we can save, when we cannot save, and trying to keep P3, P4, and P5 kind of all kind of within striking distance, to the point where if they, we can control their a late dive to the corner. If they were to do that, then we knew, they wouldn't have the speed off the corner, so we would be good to go to max save the next lap. So a lot of kind of mind games that I don't think many people think about, but it is something that you kind of have to do at these tracks. And glad I got the win, and I think Hamilton P2 and Jacob P3, so it was a really good day for us.
That's a good point. You mentioned kind of mind games, and it's just kind of piloting these cars effectively is another way of putting it. A lot of people just look at these cars that maybe don't drive the IR18 that are watching, that all they're doing is they're planning the foot and turning left and maybe dropping a gear here and there, but it can't be that hard. From your point of view, it is almost like a cockpit of an airplane. I mean, you're touching knobs and changing settings and everything, almost every single corner of every single lap of this track, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, those last 15 laps, once I think Adriano and Kyle and a few others were starting to go a bit, I was probably flipping my fuel map 4 or 5 times a lap, just kind of managing the run to see where they were at distance wise, and knowing which lane they ran the corner before, right? Because if they ran the bottom, I'm not really going to have to worry about them because they don't have the momentum. But I saw them run the middle or top. I knew I would say I was in map 4, I'd have probably swap it to map 2 just to kind of keep that gap that I had. And yeah, just a lot of I'm big into knowing people's tendencies. I think that's my biggest strength in this car, is just kind of studying what people do and realizing what their weaknesses. And specifically Adriano loves to do that late dive, and
yep.
I knew once he did a late dive and how Jacob was kind of driving, especially entry to 3, that if I were to run middle and then kind of track his car up to the wall, then he would have to lift even more, so I'd be good to save for probably a lap and a half at that point. So just a lot of little things, but all the little things kind of add up to
a win. A win. That's what they add up to. And also, we call them tricks of the trade. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, good job working with Jacob there. Hamilton was really in the call with us, but we try to keep him up there so we could have 3 guys that we know each other's tendencies and things like that, and trust. Not saying that I don't trust other people in the race, but it's nice having guys that I'm very experienced with. So yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Hopefully it was a good broadcast, and hopefully people enjoy that finish.
Well, appreciate you giving us a good show. Congratulations on the win. And I know that you're kind of part-time, but I'm assuming we're going to catch you at the home track when we get to Michigan for the last race of the year. But if we see you before then, so be it. But I know we're going to see at least one more time later this season, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on. At least 1 or 2 races. So yeah, thanks, Gary. Take care.
All right, congrats. We'll catch you at the next one. And that is Robert Malesha. Guys, Pocono kind of always delivers a little bit. We've had close finishes last night coming to the checkered flag, tonight coming to the checkered flag. Historically, I know season 1 of the ISRA, we had a close finish. When we had the race here 2 seasons ago, it was a pretty decent finish. Just proof positive that this really is an IndyCar track. Justin, go ahead. Final thoughts on tonight.
Besides the hilarious chaos between Hollabaugh and Trost over voice, not surprising that we had another fantastic photo finish here at Pocono. As far as I can't remember where we go to next for the Indy Oval Fix,
Motegi.
Ooh, that should that's probably going to be just as good. Not as good as this one here, but just as good. So it's going to be interesting to see how that will go. But as far as the rest of what we saw here, it's just your typical Pocono. Good racing all around. Guys essentially trying to find clean air going through the corners. Doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, or 3. And then getting back into single file train formation, as I like to call it. But other than that, another fantastic win by the King, Robert Malechka. And I'm still cracking up at just hearing Oster over voice chat going, how does he do it every time we come here?
Lewis, another Pocono race down. We still got one more. Me and you have one more Pocono race to go this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the votive Indy Oval Series when they go to Pocono.
Thank you for remembering me.
Yeah, but we have you have everything off until then. I got Portland at 2 p.m. Eastern for the IIS on Saturday. I know Justin will want us to shout that one out, but 2 Pocono races this week. Both have been pretty thrilling. I suspect the third one will as well. I suspect the third race will probably have over 30 cars in it. But tonight, top split wise, very entertaining top split race here and a very entertaining fight to the bitter end.
Yeah, like as of yesterday, it was a really entertainment race, especially with all that thing about the championship included, and we don't know about the points leading and stuff. And today we have this photo finish, like always happen in Pocono. Like Justin said about the incident with Matt and Tross, and then Lucas with Stephen Lee. Netcode, race deal. Unfortunately, Netcode always is around. That I don't want to say dive bomb, but that move in turn 3 always finish like that if you don't lift the throttle. So it is like that. So it is what it is, and it's not about how it is racing. It's because it's involved a lot of things, included netcode and driving and defending position, or maybe getting close to the guy on the left. But it is what it is. So. Switch the page for the next one in Motegi. Like always Motegi it is, if you're leading, you can go, you have only one chance for the second place to pass the first one, and then you don't have any more chance if you have a green flag strategy. Maybe you can get a little bit close and working with the lap downs, or maybe another restart after the caution could be a good approach for the second guy. So let's see what happens next one. Like I just said, El Borev is this Sunday in Pocono, so could be more than 30, could be more than maybe almost 40 people, or maybe 35. That's crazy, but I hope it's gonna be a good race. Like I always said, the third time always is good. So let's see what happens. So congrats for Malechka for the win, for the victory. See you Sunday for sure.
And once again, another season, no Triple Crown. No Triple Crown. Eventually someone's going to do it. I want to be here to see it, but eventually someone will do it. So no Triple Crown. And of course, I always remind everybody, it only happened one time in the 100-plus years of organized IndyCar racing. One time, one driver has only won the Triple Crown. That was Al Unser Sr. in 1978. That's how rare it is. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium here from Pocono. Robert Malechka getting the win. As I said, another 2.5-mile race, 2.5-mile track race, another Triple Crown race, another big strength of field race, and another win for Robert. Seems like the norm for him. And you listen to him, just all the details he pays attention to. Pays off. It's the little things. The devil in the details there. So he gets the win. Akabuwizi comes home second. Jacob Oster in third. Join us again next week for round 9, week 9 of season 3 of 2025 of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split presented to you by Topia Systems as the teams and drivers head to Motegi, Twin Ring Motegi on the oval there. Coverage begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, all you can do is just go right here to youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting to find all the correct times you need. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy, require time and money to produce. If you share a passion for the sport of IndyCar racing and have enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on behalf of the entire iRacing IndyCar community, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2025 broadcast fund. We do realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching. It makes it part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of tonight's race and have enjoyed tonight's coverage. Support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. That's the best thing you can do if you don't donate, is subscribe to the channel. It's free. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including Round 13 of the 2025 IndyCar iRacing Series Championship as the series goes to Portland International for the very first time. Coverage starts here on P1 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. First time ever, the IIS is going to Portland, and we may even have a rain race for the first time ever. 2 firsts in one race, you don't want to miss it. It doesn't happen very often. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: Topia Systems is a presenting sponsor of the Tuesday Night Top Split here on P1. Topia is where quality and affordability go full throttle. From custom rigs to powerful pre-builds, Topia delivers top-tier performance without all the sticker shock. Built with premium parts and backed by a team that cares, every system is tuned for gaming greatness, including the one you're watching right now. This is a Topia system that is streaming this event to you. Topia Systems, built right, priced right, game on. To learn more, check out their links in the description. Also, Simrap Market, your go-to source for iRacing paint schemes and broadcast resources, from clean base liveries to pro level design assets. It's been a long day for me. Simrap Market has everything you need to build your brand on track. What you need to do is you need to visit simrapmarket.com, download, customize, race. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow on X and Instagram. Links, as always, are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about P1 and what we do, you can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can follow all of our links, social links on Linktree, and all the links you need, of course, are in the description. So, for Justin Petschauer, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gotzo saying all good night, and thanks for watching. And all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Motegi for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split right here on P1. Good night, everybody.